People like us who have accepted Western philosophies often read strange and interesting news items like man gives birth to a baby, grandma gives birth to a grandchild. With the advancement in medical sciences and changing morality, anything is possible today. Mahabharata is one such fantastic example of Hindu mythology which contains several seemingly fantastic incidents that take place in the Sanskrit epic by Vedavyas. But on closer inspection, these incidents bear a close similarity to modern medical concepts. Today, I am listing some of the modern reproductive medical concepts that were present in the period of Mahabharata. Number 1. Surrogacy. King Kansa's sister Devaki married Vasudeva. On the day of their marriage, Kansa heard the prediction that he would die with the hands of her eighth son. So he imprisoned both Devaki and Vasudeva, killing each infant as soon as it was born. Distressed by the death of their 6 sons, Vasudeva decided to save the unborn child. When Devaki was pregnant for the 7th time by the will of the Lord Vishnu, the embryo was transferred to Vasudeva's first wife Rohini, and hence Balarama, Lord Krishna's brother, was born through surrogacy. There are instances of surrogate fathers also in the Mahabharata. Faced with the possible extinction of her lineage, Queen Satyavati requested her son Vedavyas to cohabit with her widowed daughters-in-law Ambika and Ambalika for progeny. Ambika closed her eyes at the sight of the bearded Vedavyas, and a blind son Dhritarashtra was born. The other daughter-in-law Ambalika turned pale upon seeing Vedavyas, and a son with a pallid complexion, Pandu, was born. It was also predicted that Pandu would not be a healthy child. Number 2. Induction of ovulation. Concepts of assisted reproductive technology (ART) have also been described in the epic. Sage Kaushik gave a mango to the infertile king Brihadratha. The king divided the mango into 2, giving one half to each of his 2 queens. Each queen gave birth to a half-child. As the products of conception were presumed stillborn, they were disposed of. A demon searching for food found the 2 halves. When merged, created a living child. The baby was named Jarasandha, who grew up to be a great warrior king. This episode suggests us the administration of an oral agent for induction of ovulation similar to those used in modern gynecological practices. Number 3. Pathogenesis. It is also otherwise known as virgin birth. The sage Durvasa had blessed Kunti, the daughter of King Kuntibhog, with a boon. He initiated her into a unique mantra through which she could invoke any divine being to provide her with the son. She wanted to test the mantra, but in the process, Kunti conceived her first son Karna from Surya, the sun god. She was unmarried and had to abandon him. She married King Pandu, but he was cursed that if he indulged with his wives, he would die. Hence, Kunti used the same mantra to conceive her son Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna. The same mantra was also used by Kunti to allow her co-wife Madhuri to conceive Nakula and Sahadeva. The fathers of 5 Pandavas were Yama, Vayu, Indra, and the twins Ashwin brothers. This divine birth or asexual reproduction is called Pathogenesis. Similarly, Dronacharya's birth was a combination of Pathogenesis and artificial uterus. The story of his birth goes thus. Bharadwaj went with his companions to the river Ganga to perform his ablutions. There he saw a beautiful maiden or Apsara named Kritaji. To overcome with desire, the sage produced reproductive fluid. He put this in a clay pot and stored it in a dark place in his ashram. Drona was born in this pot. Drona means pot, and Dronar is one who was born from the pot. In another incident, King Drupada's semen was put in a fire pit by a sage, from which Drishtadyumna and Draupadi were born. Number 4. Artificial uterus. When Gandhari was about to throw away the lifeless piece of flesh, Vedavyas appeared and told her that his blessings could not go waste. He found that they have 101 cells that were normal in the mass. These cells were put in a nutrient medium of 101 pots which were filled with the herbs and ghee, maybe the equivalent to modern day incubators or artificial uterus. These cells were grown until full term of these 100 developed into a male children and one was a female child called Dushala. While this incident bears strong references to modern day in vitro fertilization, Gandhari's case is more in tune with the concept of artificial uterus. Number 5. Prolonged postterm pregnancy. Impressed with Gandhari's devotion towards a blind husband Dhritarashtra, Vedavyas gave her a boon to have 100 sons. Gandhari conceived but had prolonged gestation where her pregnancy went on for nearly 2 years. On hearing the news of Yudhishthira's birth to Kunti, angry Gandhari tried to destroy her fetus. She began to strike her stomach, causing immature delivery. Gandhari gave birth to a piece of lifeless flesh that was not a baby at all. This 2 years long duration of Gandhari's pregnancy is an example of modern day prolonged post-term pregnancy. Number 6. Stem cell baby. Kapotarama, son of Shibi, was born from the pieces of flesh that King Shibi cut from his body for offering to a hawk. This was done to save a dove. This story is so famous that we find it in Sangam Tamil literature, sculptures of Southeast Asian countries and Buddhist Jataka tales. Tamil Cholas claim that Shibi was their forefather, but our interest in the story is that Kapotarama was born out of flesh of his father, so he may be considered as the stem cell baby of Mahabharata. There are many stories like this in the great epic. Each one gives us some new thoughts. So friends, that's it for today's episode. See you all in another fascinating video. Till then, take care. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.